Garnet nail polishes. That's this week's Topic Tuesday. Hello, this is Lacquerography, and I've got 8 polishes to share with you for this week's Topic Tuesday. The theme this week is the first one in the Gemstone Series, and the prompt is Garnet. This first polish up is by Holo Taco, and this one is called Gosh Garnet. This polish was released fairly recently in October 2024 as part of Holo Taco's Birthstone collection. The entire collection sold out, really, I think in about 24 hours, perhaps less, of it being released. So I actually received this polish only very recently, just a couple of weeks ago, because this entire collection was re-released, I believe it was in December, due to the high demand and the incredibly quick sellout. Gosh Garnet is described as being a deep garnet burgundy shimmering metallic formula with a subtle red bronze shift. Here is Gosh Garnet swatched out on my swatch wheel in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. And here this one is against my skin tone. I really love this color actually. When this polish was released, there was a bit of controversy. This one for people with January birthdays was not really a favorite out of the 12-piece Birthstone collection set. Compared with a lot of the others, it was a little bit toned down, not as much glitz and glitter and shine as in some of the polishes. This one remains an untried for me at this point. I've only ever tried just swatching it out on this swatch wheel just now. But I really did find that this formula was quite luscious. I thought that it applied beautifully and flawlessly, and I think there is such a deep, vampy elegance to this polish. This one is my deepest example of a garnet-colored polish, and because of its name, Gosh Garnet, and because of how recently this one was released, this one was actually the very first polish that I thought to bring out for this curated garnet collection. So this first garnet polish is by Holo Taco, Gosh Garnet. This second polish up is yet another Holo Taco polish. This one is called Misfire. Misfire is another incredibly recent release. This one came out in the Declassified Tacos Part 2 collection, released in December 2024. So I've only actually owned this one for a couple of weeks as well. Misfire is described as having a burgundy jelly base packed with red metallic foil flakes and a gold scattered holographic glitter. Holo Taco's Misfire swatched out on my swatch wheel in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. And here this one is against my skin tone. I really love how this polish as well is one of my deeper examples of a garnet polish. I believe the story that I heard about this one is that this one was in the running, I think, to be the garnet polish representing January in the Birthstone collection. Although you need to fact check me on that one. There were some stories that went along with each polish from the 4-piece Declassified Tacos set, and I actually had trouble finding the story itself at the time of filming. But I do know when this polish was released in December 2024, there were a lot of Holo Taco customers with January birthdays that were sighing a sigh of relief and claiming this one as their new Birthstone polish. This one is much more sparkly than the previous one, although it does share quite a bit of depth with Gosh Garnet. I really enjoy both of these Holo Taco examples. This one, although it does have quite a bit more sparkle happening, including some holographic glitter, this one does lay perfectly flat with no texture to speak of, with just 1 coat of a regular glossy top coat. This second polish is by Holo Taco, Misfire. The third polish up is by Bluebird Lacquer. This one is called Red Crested Breagle. This polish was released in Polish Pickup of April 2024, and it was the video games theme that this one was released for. This polish is described as having an oxblood red base with loads of large particle shimmer and a lovely hollow that gives it a sort of plum look. And the inspiration for this polish, when it was released as part of the video games themed month, the inspiration for this polish was Banjo-Kazooie. Here is Bluebird Lacquers Red Crested Breagle, swatched out on my swatch wheel in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. And here it is against my skin tone. This one is a little bit brighter than the previous 2 polishes, and I find that this large particle shimmer is really quite twinkly. I have worn this polish already, and I love this one. I thought that it was beautiful in any kind of lighting, but when you got it out in the sunshine, I thought that that twinkle from the shimmer really did come alive beautifully. This one does have that really interesting richness, and it goes everything from really quite bright in a lot of sunlight to really quite dark and vampy when you're in indirect lighting. The formula of this polish as well was absolutely spectacular in just 2 easy coats with a regular quick dry glossy top coat on top. This 3rd garnet polish is by Bluebird Lacquer, Red Crested Breagle. This 4th polish is by Polished for Days. This one is called Hey Mercury, Can You Not? And this one is a magnetic polish. Hey Mercury, Can You Not was released in May 2024's Polish Pickup, and the theme that month was It Came from Outer Space. The description for Hey Mercury, Can You Not is that it is a deep berry purple-red base with a strong red-orange-gold multichrome shimmer and a matching red-orange-gold magnetic shimmer that can be magnetized if you'd like. This one was inspired by Mercury in retrograde. Here is Hey Mercury, Can You Not? Swatched out on my swatch wheel in 2 coats, magnetized with each coat in the cat's eye style, and topped with a quick dry glossy top coat, which was also magnetized in the cat eye style. And here it is against my skin tone. I really quite love the effect of this polish with the cat eye style. I haven't tried it in the velvet style, but I'm sure it would be equally stunning. But I love this tone on tone coordinating type magnetic pull effect. For me, it's a little bit more subtle, but it does give this undeniable dimension to it, a little bit of a fire and a flame. And I think in a way, having a magnetic polish as one of my garnet picks, it kind of alludes to the depth and range that you can get in natural gemstone. As you look through a gemstone, depending on the size of it, you can start to see the light refract through the gemstone. And I think in a way, this magnetic echoes that kind of an effect quite beautifully. I haven't worn this one yet. I was hoping to wear it in the fall, but hopefully I'll get around to it in the winter. I think this one is absolutely gorgeous. This 4th polish is a magnetic by Polished for Days. Hey Mercury, Can You Not? This 5th polish out of the 8 that I've selected is actually the last one that I've chosen from my indie polish range. This polish is by BCB Lacquers, and this one is called All the Better to Eat You With. This polish was released as part of Hella Handmade Creations in July 2023. And with this polish, BCB Lacquers started their Grimm's Fairy Tales theme, which went on for several months in a row. This polish is described as being a crimson red with red and garnet micro glitters and gold reflective glitter. The inspiration for this polish was that it actually launched BCB Lacquers series within Hella Handmade Creations called Grimm's Fairy Tales. And the inspiration for this one, of course, was Little Red Riding Hood. Now, this might seem a little bit redundant because, in fact, BCB Lacquers, All the Better to Eat You With, is what I'm wearing on my nails right now. This is a beautiful polish. I actually applied for this 3 coats, and it wasn't because I needed it. It was because I had it on in 2 coats, and I had a really rough end of my work week with my hands. I did chip a couple of nails, so what I did was, rather than remove it and reapply this polish, it had such a beautiful, thick formula, not too thick, but just a really luscious, thick, generous formula, that I decided to just take my 2 coats I already had and top it with a 3rd coat, and of course apply a regular glossy top coat on top of it, just to banish the sight of some of those chips and a little bit of the tip wear. I really had a terrible end of my work week in terms of polish wear. Yeah, lots of work with my hands on Thursday and Friday. It's no fault of the polish itself, though. That's all on me. I have to learn to not use my nails as tools. This sparkly polish right here, just for consistency's sake, is BCB Lacquers All the Better to Eat You With, swatched out on the swatch wheel in 2 coats with a regular glossy top coat. And here it is, quite redundant, but there it is against my skin tone, this time without any sort of wear whatsoever, like what I might have on my hands. The sparkle for this polish is so beautiful. I think that's due in part, of course, to the reflective glitter, but also to the micro glitter within it. There's so much really delicate depth to this polish, and I find that it would really surprise me sometimes in different types of lighting. Here I'm seeing more of the red sparkle within it, but once in a while in the sunlight, that gold reflective glitter really came alive, and you could see those flashes of gold within it. I really have nothing else quite like this polish. And the sparkle of this one was what made me think as well of garnet. Not all garnets have that kind of sparkle, but some types, if it's cut in a certain way, there really is a gorgeous sparkle when the light shines through it. So I just had to pull this one as well for my curated collection of garnet polishes. This really beautiful sparkly polish, my 5th pick, is by BCB Lacquers, All the Better to Eat You With. My 6th pick is my first of my mainstream picks. This one is by Sinful Colors. And this polish is called Sugar Sugar, number 839. Sugar Sugar was released back in November 2010, and I certainly haven't had this polish that long. In fact, I've only purchased it within the last year. This one is described as being a candy cane red hot metallic. This is Sugar Sugar by Sinful Colors, swatched out on my swatch wheel in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. And here it is against my skin tone. I was so excited to see this polish really recently, just within the last calendar year. It's interesting, Sinful Colors polishes in my area, they really were not readily available until maybe the last 3 or 4 years. I'm a Canadian and I live in Ontario, Canada, and I'm not sure why that was. Like perhaps they were in certain stores that I didn't have access to. The moment I saw this polish though at a local discount store, I just thought, I mean, this one just had to come home with me. It was so decadent looking, like it's such a rich, sparkly red, and it's probably the brightest one of my 8 picks representing garnet this month. This one has such a beautiful red hot sheen to it, but there is a depth and a bit of a vampiness to this polish as well. And I was very impressed with the formula. The brush for this one is a little bit of an old style brush, kind of a rounded brush, so the application was a little bit on the tricky side. I did have to go over this swatch several times to make sure I had full coverage, but on the second coat, this one dried really beautifully and was well worth any extra effort on the part of the funny brush. This first mainstream polish and my 6th Garnet pick, this one is by Sinful Colors. Sugar Sugar, number 839. My 7th pick is actually represented by a mini bottle. I do own this in a full-size bottle, but the one that was readily available right now, because I'm trying to use this one up, was my mini size bottle that I got as part of an advent calendar a couple of years back. This is my 7th pick for a garnet polish, and this one is the classic OPI, I'm Not Really a Waitress. I'm Not Really a Waitress was a release that came out in 1999, and it was called the Hollywood Collection. This polish is described on the OPI website as being a rich Chianti red nail polish. Here is OPI's I'm Not Really a Waitress, swatched on my swatch wheel in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. And here it is against my skin tone. I can't say enough about this polish. I have loved this polish for decades. I don't know if I can really remember exactly when this polish came out. I don't know that I had it back in 1999, but I certainly do recall how popular this one was, and it's for a very good reason. Even in this mini bottle with a very short stem of the brush, this polish applied just in a heavenly way. It is so rich and decadent, and I'd almost describe it as like a satiny, silky feel as you apply it. This formula is just divine. And I can't say enough too about this shine. This color, this shine is everything. And I had to include this one as one of my garnet picks. There's something about the depth of this one, the richness, a little bit of a vampiness as well, and the fact that it's a classic. To me, it just screams gemstones. And if you don't have this polish already, I would highly, highly recommend that you pick this one up. This one is a perennial favorite in my collection. This 7th polish is OPI's I'm Not Really a Waitress. For my final and 8th pick, I had to go with a mainstream with a really wonderful, beautiful classic finish. This one is by Sally Hansen as part of their Good Kind Pure line. And this polish is called Cherry Amour, and this one is number 320. For Cherry Amour, I do not have a description to go along with this one, unfortunately, but what I can tell you is that it is just the most beautiful, I guess closest to creme polish as I had in my collection that went with this garnet theme. It applied beautifully, and the richness of the formula, I really can't say enough of it. I'm really becoming a fan of Sally Hansen's Good Kind Pure Lasting Color line. Here is Sally Hansen's Cherry Amour, number 320, swatched out on my swatch wheel in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. And here it is against my skin tone. Just a gorgeous, deep, classic cherry red. And I thought it was a perfect way to finish up these garnet picks. There was something just so classic about this color. It has a cherry lean to it. It's got a depth to it that clearly reminded me of garnet. And this line from Sally Hansen, I think, is well worth checking out. I think I only own about 5 from this line, but my experience with it is outstanding. And I'd actually look to add more from this Good Kind Pure line, which is a vegan polish line, to my collection. Most of the colors that I own at this point from this line are nice, deep, rich colors, and this one is no exception to that. It is just perfect. And it applied beautifully with excellent coverage in only 2 coats with a glossy top coat. This 8th and final polish from my Garnet picks is by Sally Hansen from their Good Kind Pure line. Cherry Amour, number 320. So that's it for my 8 picks for this week's Topic Tuesday from the Gemstone Series, Garnet. I'm wondering, when you think of Garnet and January birthstone polishes, what polishes come to your mind? Do you have any of these ones? Do you have any experience with them? What are your picks from your collection that best suit January's birthstone of Garnet? Please feel free to leave all your comments below and we can continue on the conversation long after. Do you enjoy Nail Topic Tuesday videos like this one? If you do, please consider giving this video a like. It signals to me that you enjoy Topic Tuesday nail content. I'll produce video content aligned with these Topic Tuesday prompts as often as I possibly can. Also, if you enjoy nail-related content in general, please consider subscribing. I release nail-related content as often as I can, and by subscribing, you won't miss out on any of the fun. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully I'll see you again in the next one. Take care. Bye.